So now let's assume that we have deployed with the procedure explained in the previous demo all the available large language models in AI Core, as you can see here in the screen. Now we can move to the Generative AI Hub, where I will show you how these models can be used. First of all, let's have a look at the functionalities provided by Generative AI Hub. Let's start from the prompt editor. This is the playground provided by Generative AI Hub, where it is possible to perform the prompt engineering and test the prompts against the different large language models available. Let's inspect quickly the UI. We have a specific field where we can assign a name to the prompt, or we can let it is assigned automatically. We can also specify a version. We can also define a collection to group all the prompts that are related to a certain task and assign the prompt to it. So let's try to see how we can use this prompt editor. To do that, we need an example. For instance, let's have a look at this message in the context of our use case. This can be an example of a message posted by a citizen on a social media reporting about an issue in the city. In particular, here the citizen is reporting about an overflowing dustbin. Let's see how we can consume one of our large language models to extract useful information from this message from the prompt editor in the Generative AI app. Let's include this message into a simple prompt where we give instructions to extract some useful information with large language models in Generative AI app. In particular, we can ask the model to generate a short summary to determine the address where the issue was noticed and also its geo-coordinates. We can also require, for example, to do some sentiment analysis and to determine the tone of the citizen message. At the end of the prompt, we can also require a specific format for the response. Now, we have prepared our prompt, so let's try to interpret it in Generative AI app. We can copy the prompt we have built and we can paste it here in the prompt editor. Let's assign a name to this prompt and let's create a specific collection for it. At this point, from the UI, we can select the model that we would like to use. Let's click on this button and as you can see, we have different possible choices, basically all the large language models that we have deployed in our AI Core instance and that are available in the foundation scenario we have seen in the previous demo. We can select the model that we prefer, and then as you can see, we can also tune the parameters for the model we have selected. The value of these parameters will determine the response. For example, one parameter that we can tune is the temperature. This has an impact on the variability of the response. It adjusts basically the balance between randomness and the predictability, impacting the creativity and coherence of the generated responses. The higher temperature value, the higher randomness we will have in the response. With max tokens, you can decide to stop the response generation to a certain number of tokens. The frequency penalty applies a penalty on the next token proportional to how many times that token already appeared in the response and prompt. And the last parameter, the presence penalty, encourages the model to explore new topics and makes it less repetitive. Now, let's keep the default values for the parameters and let's play the run button to get a response. As you can see, we have received the response we asked for, so a description, the sentiment of the message, and we see also the address where the issue was noticed and its geo-coordinates. Now, what can we do from this prompt editor at this point? For example, we can save the prompt for a later use. If we save it, it will have the name we specified in the beginning and it will appear in the prompt management page. If we move there, you can see the list of saved prompts that you can filter based on the creation date, the model used, and also based on the collection name. We can click on one of them and we can decide if we want, for example, to delete it or, for example, to open it in the prompt editor for further modifying it. The saved prompt contains all the information about the configuration used for the inference and provides some convenient buttons to copy in the clipboard the prompt or the response. If we move again to the prompt editor, we can notice this select button. This allows to pick one of the prompts previously saved that appear in the prompt management page. So in summary, Generative AI Hub, as you can see, provides the tools to test, save, and version compare the prompts.